Mary in the Gospel of Mark. The first story occurs in the first pieces, chapters 3:20 to 21 and 31 to 35. Two pieces. And in the middle, we have the story of the doubting scribes who ascribed to Jesus power of Beelzebub. It's a bad context because it places Mary and the family as among the doubters. We have only a faint outline in the Gospel of Mark with regard to Mary. That's not a popular one. So the temptation is often to bypass Mark to get to the better, more flattering texts. But last we've got the earliest tradition, the visit of the mother and the brothers. It casts Mary in a negative light, and it's an embarrassing text to those of us who are devoted to her. If we only had the Markan Gospel, we'd have the name of the mother from the second reference in chapter 6. Two negative stories of rejection, no deep devotion to Mary, which is so integral to Catholic Christianity. But what Mark is doing is trying to cast Jesus' words in as strong a light as possible. And he does it by contrasting the two families, the family of faith and the doubting family. Mary was probably not known to Mark and to his community. She wouldn't have been a significant figure in the early church. It's only when the infancy narratives are developed later on that Mary starts to emerge. We need to get this overall perspective of Mark. But now when we come to the second story in chapter 6, it's Jesus' unhappy return to his own hometown, where the villagers take offense at him because they know him. They know his mother, Mary, and they know his brothers and his sisters. The son of Mary seems a figure they know too well. He's too familiar. Well, they ask the question, where does this man come from and get all this learning? But they get the wrong answer to that question. They think they know the source of his power and his authority because they know his earthly origins. What they miss is the faith dimension that is part of being a disciple. It's not enough to know the Son of God only as the Son of Mary. Augustine had a great line when he said, "For Mary, it was a greater thing for her to have been Jesus' disciple than to have been his mother." That's striking. Discipleship is a matter of faith rather than the natural relationship of family. It's an important issue in those days because families often were divided when they became Christian. So we can take consolation in that. After all, the Gospels are going to develop to show Mary as, in Luke, the first disciple of Jesus.